Of Janice.
Well, this has probably been a long time coming because I've been learning more and more about all the things you do, and you are incredible. I got to experience one of your teachings where you went over Ayurvedic yoga, like all the healing modalities. I mean, you do a lot, but then you're also really impactful in the community at Langston as a program director. So tell us a little bit about this healing, because you have been an integral part of Niles Edge. You've been bringing healing for a long time. I want to learn more about what got you started into the wellness aspects of what you bring.
Oh, wow. It's personal, right? So it was me trying to heal myself. Was living in Chicago, had some crazy stuff happening with my stomach, having some crazy stuff happening with my body. Went to the hospital and realized that Western medicine is not for the healing, right? And so I went on a journey to figure out how to heal myself, because I didn't want to be on Western prescriptions for the rest of my life, for the weekend, for the week, anything, right? So I started looking into herbs and gardens, vegetables, just thinking about foods and looking at different diets. And as I was looking at the different diets and everything, I realized that a lot of the stuff that they were telling you is singular. It's based off of a trend or one little bitty scientific detail, right? And they weren't looking at the whole body. They weren't looking at the whole picture. And so, like I said, my body, physical and internally, I started doing massage. I went to massage school because, I was a dancer. I am a dancer.
You are.
I am a dancer. And so, having things wrong with my body was happening all the time. So I was like, I want to be able to fix other people, because I know what it feels like to feel stiff, to be out of alignment. So went to massage school. And in massage school, that's when I was introduced to Ayurveda medicine. And Ayurveda is a 5,000-year-old Indian tradition. And I say Indian loosely because 5,000 years ago, they weren't Indians, right? There was Dravidians who came through the Egyptian peninsula and continued. So it's an African practice.
Yeah.
Let's be real. It's an African practice, but cataloged in India because colonization and et cetera, right?
It's real.
With Ayurveda, I got a chance to get back in touch with nature. I'm a huge nature geek, love being outside, hug a tree, put my feet on the solid ground. And in Ayurveda, everything that they're teaching you is about all the elements. So water, earth, air, fire, and the ether. And mastering the knowledge of all of those elements, you master your body. And so I was like, oh, this is good. Black people are always going to the hospital for, traumatic things. And I thought, oh, I can give this to my people. This is something that you can do at home. You just have to learn it. This is med school for the community. So, I started teaching my massage clients, because it's hard to get people onto a new diet or lifestyle. So anytime I had someone on the table, I'd say, hey, I'm feeling a lot of air. We need to balance that. Let's bring in some earth. Oh, I'm feeling a lot of fire. We need to cool that off. Let's bring in some water. And they would be like, whoa, what are you talking about? How did you feel that? I'm like, let me teach you. Let me teach you so that you can start feeling these things in your body as well.
I gotta say, I'm so blown away by you. I mean, I've known you for some time, and it wasn't until recently that I realized, all that you do. I was like, wait a minute, what? I mean, you just said, so I went to massage school. I'm like, what? At the end of the day, you really embody what it means to say all of these things really curate a holistic approach.
Absolutely.
When you learn about so much of this, and, you and I are in spiritual community together, so I know that that's a part of now how you bring that out to folks that you're working with. But this holistic way, we need to probably have you on several times just to talk about all of these modalities, because honestly, the truth is that it's a lot of this is foreign, particularly in Black communities.
Absolutely.
And, these are the things that I'm like, this platform, I want us to be able to be exposed to the things that are going to help us holistically and also take us back to some of those ancient practices that have always worked for our people and for so many other ethnic groups and cultures all over the globe. it's worked for so long. I mean, you're talking about a thousands and thousands of year old practice, but I love that you said it started with me. So what are some of those benefits that you really experience personally? I'm sure you have a lot of client testimonials, but what are some of those things where you said, man, this is really working for me? What were some of those specific things that worked for you?
Absolutely. Well, again, like I said, I started with digestion or whatever. And when I started not only changing my diet, but changing my diet for my body type, I realized, oh, I have energy. I'm not bloated. I lost weight, but it wasn't like, it wasn't like I was working out or anything. It was just my body saying, oh, finally we can release this. Finally, we're not holding on to this air, this earth, this, whatever it was. And so I was just, my head was clearer. Even now, I can tell when my diet is off because I start getting all over the place. I'm foggy, I'm confused, and I'm like, oh, get back to your diet. And it's not just diet, it's lifestyle. So it's in the morning, what do you do? In the afternoon, what do you do? In the evening, what do you do? And when I started, even if my diet isn't right on point, if I can at least get the clock, right, the biological clock to know what to do at what time, even just that little bitty thing, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm in alignment again. Oh, I got energy again. Oh, I'm sleeping well again. Easily, just by following the biological clock. So that's one thing that just, and it's all knowledge. It's just learning. This is an education system. It's not, it's a health system, but I like to consider it an education system because that allows the community to have access to it, to be able to do preventative care for themselves.
Yeah, that's really the goal. That's exactly the key. You're talking about things that where I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to have a whole other side conversation because as y'all know, I am definitely working on this body over here, and I'll say that a part of that is moving into veganism for me over the last couple of years and really solidifying it for me has been a journey in and of itself. But it also means that I was like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I'm eating too much rice. It's going to sugar. Maybe I'm doing too much tofu. There's certain things that I was like, oh wait, I need to balance all of this out. So I love that you bring all that. But you also are at Langston. It is a historically known space for so much Black culture to thrive. And you are now there as a program director. And there are some amazing programs we need to learn about. Tell us about some of the things coming up at Langston.
Sure, of course. So coming up this week, I don't know if you know about National Tap Dance Day. It's a thing, and it's this week. It's Thursday, and we have a group coming out of Detroit from Tapology, and they're partnering with, of course, our own Northwest Tap Connection. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have some hoofers in the building this Friday. So tickets are on sale. Bruce Bradley, a legend tap dancer, and Tapology has worked with pretty much any great tap dancer that you can think of. Same with Northwest Tap Connection. If anybody has not experienced Northwest Tap Connection, that's our local superstars, I think. I love the work that Ms. Melba is doing over there. So that's happening on Friday at 7:30. Talk back afterwards so you can ask all your questions about tap, about the history, about the great things that they've done. So that's this week. And our next, we have Julian Speaks, which is the following Saturday. And that is basically, we're getting a chance to have in-depth conversations with this Seattle jazz legend. He's bringing out his record player. He's showing you where he got his motivation from. He's answering questions. He's talking. And we've been doing this series in association with him for the last, it'll be a full year. So we have things happening on Saturdays all the way up until until the winter. So definitely that's a great one. And then we have Aham Aluo. He's done phenomenal things all over the city, all over the world, and he's about to bring us his one-man show.
Wow.
And I am just thrilled about that, just because, I'm a fan of his work. And for me at Langston, I'm trying to bring in all the artists that I get a chance to experience all over the city. I'm like, come back home.
Yeah.
Come back home. Like, it's so common that as we perform or as we get big and famous or whatever, that hometown don't want to see you no more. They're like, oh yeah, that's just so-and-so from the Central District. That's just so-and-so from, Rainier Beach. But it's like, no, that is so-and-so from Rainier Beach. That is so-and-so from the Central District. Let's see what they're doing now. So if anybody's working on anything, if y'all are pulling out some stuff, come back. Hit me up at Langston. I'm the program director there. I'm trying to get hometown back on the stage so that we can see Seattle's true Black brilliance.
Oh, I could just tear up right now. I'm so elated because, you know, that is so necessary. Sadiqua, all the things that you are doing, of course, I want you to be able to share it all with our audience right now. How do they tap in with you for wellness?
Okay.
And then how do they tap in for all the amazing things going on at Langston? Let them know right there.
All right. For wellness, you can reach me at two places. Now's Edge Healing Arts, which is my nonprofit that we're working specifically on Black healing with a group of other healers. www.nowsedge.com or Body Embodied, which is my personal Instagram page. I don't have anything else but an Instagram page for that right now because I'm really just in community. People come, I'm like, hey, come talk to me. But that's Body Embodied on Instagram. And if you want to reach me at Langston, if you have some ideas, it's Sadiqua, Sadiqua, at langstonsseattle.org. And if you just want to get your tickets for our upcoming events, it's going to be www.langstonsseattle.org.
Oh, there it is. All of the places, all of the things. Sadiqua Iman, fire and fire. And you're looking fantastic. Thank you so much for coming through. We'll keep these segments going as Langston has more events. I want the Day with Trae to be a space where it's always being promoted. You know, we need to be bringing some of those people right here to talk about the shows that are coming there. So I can't wait to work with you more on this. I'm excited.
Yes, please.
I'm
I'm going to do one more plug about just arts in the city or whatever. I'm also affiliated with Black and Tan Hall, which is, I'm one of the partners here, and we are getting close to opening. So that's going to be an amazing arts venue on the south end. So I just want people to know, like, I'm plugging into all the arts all over the city. So I hope I can start coming and telling you about what people are doing all over the city in the arts so that we can just get people back out to the theater. COVID is over.
There it is. There it is. Anytime. You got it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.